let's start with this new segment. I'm very excited about this. I don't think I could have found anyone else who could tell us about the Indian tourism industry. Over the next 25 years, Indian tourism industry will grow 10 times. It's going to attract entrepreneurs. It's going to create global brands. And now we are going to hear from someone who is in the trenches, making it happen. We're going to hear from Hemant about the Indian tourism industry. And then at the end of this, he's going to present to us a contextual problem about the Indian tourism industry. And one of your viewers is going to solve this. And the applicants will be judged by Hemant. And whichever applicant wins it, they're going to get a 1,000 rupees award with a certificate signed by no other than our one of 550 Indians who have climbed Mount Everest, Miglani, a venture capitalist in London, and me, myself, here in Silicon Valley. So guys, get ready. I don't think I could have gotten an IIM Bangalore professor to talk better about the tourism industry in India. I couldn't have gotten the tourism minister of India to talk better about the tourism industry in India. So we have someone who is in the trenches today to talk about the tourism industry in India. So Hemant, tell us more about the tourism industry, where it is, where is it going, and what do you think is the SWOT analysis of the tourism industry, the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and the threats. Please, Hemant.
Yeah, I'll try my best to do that. I haven't done a SWOT analysis in years. So when I started or had this thought of starting a travel company, right? And it was largely due to passion. But, passion is one thing, business is another, right? I could be a traveler, but the business of travel is a altogether different ballgame. So I did my research. What to do, how to do, should I become an aggregator, should I do this, all that. So eventually it's a journey, and I started on certain aspects, and then I realized that Rustic Travel, we should try to do anything and everything out of, in travel business. Now, when I say that, it could be not just trip curation or execution, it could be other things also. It could be about content. It could be about travel-related content. It could be about events, travel-related events. It could be, anything else, many things which are there. It could be inbound, it could be outbound. So actually we are doing all of these things. Of course, there are some things which we have monetized and some we have not. Like content, we host podcast shows, we have short documentaries, but we haven't actually monetized it. But what I'm trying to say is that tourism, it's just not India, it's worldwide. It's at the cusp where it's going to just grow by leaps and bounds. That is happening largely because many things are happening. Of course, there's aviation, world has become smaller with transport. It has become smaller with internet, communication, mobile phones. It's really become smaller. And there are new opportunities which are evolving, right? Content is one big thing, a big area. I just spoke of which we can't put a number to it. But if you look at tourism industry as such in India, it's around $10 billion worth right now.
$10 billion for India,
Yeah.
$10 billion?
Yes.
And I'll tell you, now here's a number, Hemant, stuck in my head. And this is probably a few years old number. So I don't know if it's grown probably. $250 billion is the UK tourism industry. एक छोटा सा island कहीं पर ऊपर है ठंडे देश में. $250 billion. That is UK tourism industry.
No, so that's where there's huge potential because this number is slightly dated, maybe a few years here and there, but again, it definitely not in hundreds, right?
10 नहीं होगा तो 12 होगा, 13 होगा, 15 होगा.
Correct.
It's not
Exactly.
50 billion for tiny island somewhere.
Right, correct. Absolutely. So it is really, really, I would say, not reached its potential. And if you look at inbound tourism, right, how many people come to India, it's around, between 10 to 15 million people. If you look at countries like France or Spain, I think annually 40 million people around come to the country. It's huge, and those are small countries. right? But what tourism does is, and what really excited me about it, and I talked about the meaningful impact which one could create, right, is that it's a big job giver. So 10% of the workforce is in tourism. 10% of the overall, I would say, organized workforce. And that is huge. And if you look at, of course, we know everybody talks about the demographics in India. It's a young country, 65%, there's less than 35 years and all that. We present that and put it as by pitching it to foreign investors, all that. But of course, there's a ticking time bomb, which nobody talks about, right? Because so many people, and hence there are not that many jobs. So tourism could actually help, in creating those jobs. That is one, right? Second is, and I would say thanks to COVID, right? Of course, tourism went bust. I mean, we were like zero revenues during those times. What it did was, especially for India, it boosted domestic tourism big time, right? So, of course, the incomes have risen over the years. From 1991, when liberalization started happening, it's really, Indians have more money, spending money. And what COVID did was, it brought about a behavioral change in Indians, right? It, of course, all of us felt during COVID, right? Isne dekha hai, let's go and travel. Everybody has felt that, right? And you feel that more. And of course, there was a huge revenge tourism, as they call it, that happened. But I think the journey actually started much before that, I feel. COVID just boosted that. Over the years, Indians have been traveling quite a bit within India. Now we have partners across India, right? Ladakh, Himachal, Idhar. I particularly talk about Ladakh. I first went there in 2005. There was only one couple during that time who were Indians. The rest were all foreigners. This is 2005. Cut to last year, I went. I mean, in between, I've been there some 5-6 times. They were mainly Indians and many Indians. And we talked to our partners regularly there, right? And they said that we prefer that Indians come, and they're not even banking on foreign travelers to come there. And one of the main reasons is not quantity, is the money Indians are spending more than the foreign travelers. So that is also happening. So that is one. And we do quite a bit of outbound tourism as well, right? Indians traveling abroad. So we organize trips to be it Egypt, be it Tanzania, Kenya, to Europe, different places. And we talk to our partners abroad. In fact, just yesterday, I met one partner from Vietnam. They were in Bangalore, so they wanted to meet me. So I met them. And they were traveling around India, meeting different people, because India is a big market for them. Tons of Indians travel to Vietnam, Cambodia. Suddenly, all the destinations, and there are a lot of events happen, like travel events happen. The biggest one is an event called ITB, Berlin. Now they have an India chapter also. It's happening in Mumbai in September, just because it's a huge market. So one is India as a destination, and second is Indians as a market. It's huge, right? So another thing, what is happening in India specifically is the infrastructure, which is improving by the day. So I don't think many of you know that it was there in the newsletter, IMB newsletter 2 years ago. So I just during the COVID, I took a road trip, 6-month-long trip in my car across India. I covered all the 28 states, and we did that. It was one of the events. We did that in association with Ministry of Tourism, Government of India. And it was...
I'd love it. Time you do something like that, Hemant, मैं भी join करूँगा.
Sure.
मैं साथ में सीट पे बैठ जाऊँगा if that's what you want. या कभी-कभी drive भी कर लूँगा road trip में.
In fact, a lot of my IMB batchmates, a lot of my friends, they joined me during that road trip. So it was quite experience. And I went through roads, right? India, roads, highways. Oh, they are amazing. It's a pleasure driving. I mean, as far-flung places as the Northeast or, various, places like Bihar who, one would feel ki pichda hai to nahi. I mean, the roads were good, yeah. So I was like, UP, amazing, super highways, yeah. So the infrastructure is really coming up. airports. I flew to Kannur some 5 years ago actually. There was somebody had invited me for a talk there, some college. And I flew there. It was a new airport. And I've been to many airports around the world. I traveled quite a bit. It was an international airport in Kannur, a small place, an international airport. Of course, a lot of Malayalis come from the Gulf and all that, right? It's meant for them. And the airport was world class.
Wow.
So there are a lot of smaller towns which are having these amazing airports. And of course, there's domestic travel also happening. There's international travel also happening. The infrastructure is also improved quite a bit and improving. There is money in the hands of the consumer. Gen Z has already decided that they're not going to buy any houses, have any assets. They're just going to spend on experiences. Gen Z ka to yahi hai, right? And even so our audience is largely 40 plus, 50 plus, that audience. Those are guys who have decided कि यार बहुत हो गया, काम कर लिया जिंदगी में. Let's do this. And they are price insensitive guys, right? So they're spending more and more. So the numbers are increasing. Their spending power is also increasing. So it's a pretty rosy picture in terms of actual growth which could happen. As long as, or now I'm going to talk about as long as it's sustainable. Okay? But that's where my question is actually.
Sustainability mein, can you cover two or three things? One is economic sustainability, environment sustainability, and also the growth sustainability. How much of a growth is possible in the future?
I'll start with economic or financial sustainability, right? So I think there's as I mentioned, that it's the biggest job giver. This industry is one of the biggest job givers. Like 10% of the workforce comes from here. So which means that you need that much of workforce, which is there. But the problem is that is that workforce skilled? Okay. Are there enough training institutes or, tourism, does they have enough, whatever teachers or instructors or the right path for training up and coming tourism professionals? So that is a problem right now. So while there is demand, but we see it all the time when we go out, either hiring interns or hiring people, or be talking to smaller town partners and smaller towns. So that skill is a problem, right? We need more skilled professionals. It's definitely there. And financial, in fact, growth is also sort of linked to it, Manish, because that is also, you have to give, the right supply of, trained professionals to deliver for the demand which is coming in.
Yeah.
मैंने दो चीजें लिखी है वीकनेस में, वर्कफोर्स स्किल्ड, एनफ ट्रेनिंग इंस्टीट्यूट्स. सो ये जो वीकनेसेस है, दे आर आल्सो थिंग्स दैट एंटरप्रेन्योर्स कैन प्रोवाइड. लगता है कि इतनी कंप्यूटर ट्रेनिंग इंस्टीट्यूट्स हैं, उसकी जगह अगर आप टूरिज्म ट्रेनिंग इंस्टीट्यूट्स, दैट माइट बी समथिंग दैट कैन एक्चुअली फुलफिल द डिमांड. क्योंकि आपने अपॉर्चुनिटीज में एक बहुत अच्छी बात लिखी, बिगेस्ट जॉब गिवर. आज हमारे देश के लिए सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है कि एनफ जॉब्स नहीं है. तो I think you've just helped a lot of entrepreneurs identify कि tourism workforce skill up the workforce in the tourism industry, create jobs. That's a huge.
So skill is a weakness. In terms of now, one of the opportunities I would say specifically for India is that there are so many destinations, right, which are just not tapped. They're so under-tapped. India is an ancient country, right? And I visit many countries which are hardly like 300, so I think Vix, you should definitely add marketing is a huge weakness.
Yes, marketing.
Right.
Yes, we
work with हम लोग Ministry of Tourism के साथ काम करते हैं. Those guys are just, buried in bureaucracy. They are still
buried in bureaucracy.
बहुत problem है. It's there's a state tourism board, there's a ministry guy. It's just they just don't talk to each other. So it's a major problem.
इसका solution, चलो problem तो नहीं बताओ, क्योंकि we interviewed someone who will probably be the finance minister of India in the next 10 years. We spoke to someone else जो कि IAS था, फिर IAM किया है, उसके भी गवर्नमेंट में लोगों को जानता है. तो क्या solution देखो, प्रॉब्लम तो है राइट कि मार्केटिंग की प्रॉब्लम है, वर्कफोर्स स्किल नहीं है, ब्यूरोक्रेसी है, गवर्नमेंट ब्यूरोक्रेसी है. What's the solution?
From your angle, from your
हाँ.
perspective, what do you think either the government or someone should do? What's the case?
Are you asking the solution? Sorry, you can.
Yes, we are asking.
Your solution. Your solution.
My solution. You're asking me to put a question for this.
No, we are asking, suppose if Mr. Modi came to you and said, Hemant, you've been to IIM Bangalore, you're an avid traveler, you've traveled all over the world. I want you to make India the rising star of global tourism in the next 5 years. What 3 steps will Hemant Soren take?
और SWOT एनालिसिस में बात करें कि कौन सा स्ट्रेंथ आप इंक्रीज करोगे, वीकनेस डिक्रीज करोगे और कौन सी अपॉर्चुनिटी पे प्रायोरिटाइज करोगे.
I think first is your tourist destinations. I think you'll work on that first. One which is undertapped, you develop them more. One which is overtapped. Okay, so straight away there's a
Wow.
sorry.
Wow, अब आप सोल्यूशन पे आ गए हो कि ओवरटैप को टैक्स करो,
Reduce
overtap. What's overtap?
it's like over tourism.
Like शिमला में हर बंदा जाता है. It is अभी शिमला take Delhi.
I tell people, please do not visit the hill stations. Please do not visit during December or May, certain times. भीड़ रहती है.
जाओ तो स्कूल की छुट्टियां.
Treks में like छोटे treks in Coorg and all that, 300-400 people. It's crazy. But there are many other places, right? One could go. But what? So that's overtapped, undertapped, right? So basically do all that, build that infrastructure, right? I think so you asked me 3 things. I think that would be my number one. You start.
So I think number one you're saying, start understanding find out the top 10 locations that are overtapped, introduce permit fees like Mount Everest does, find out top 10 locations that are undertapped, and probably give tax holidays for businesses that are operating in those areas.
Yes, and build them. Build infrastructure. The infrastructure meaning airport, acha road to reach there, transport, all that stuff, right? And help hotel owners, give tax holidays or things like that. So that is definitely one.
Wow, I think this should make it to the cabinet. I will make sure we email it to 2 government/IIM people we have interviewed recently. One thing we are realizing is that because of India is run by people who graduated from IIMs, middle-level management, middle-level government organizations. So this distinction that you have made between overtapped and undertapped, I think it comes because you're part of this industry. But this distinction is important. That's great.
Right. The second one is, now we have done this, or you're doing this, and it is an ongoing process. Marketing is a big thing.
How do we unleash entrepreneurial energy in marketing? Because at the end of the day, the government can only create the environment. The government cannot do. The government can create the environment. So do you have any ideas on what can we do to unleash that entrepreneurial energy?
So that's a difficult question because, see, there are a lot of things which the government can do, which is largely, not just about tourism startups. It could be any startups or any companies, right? We run a company. There are thousands of compliance things, audit things,
Yes.
So just get buried into every year.
Absolutely.
Right? I pay our accountant auditors more than maybe we pay our employees. Okay. So
pay your marketing department. That has to change.
Yes.
That has to change. You should be able to spend the energy in getting a DJI drone and flying that drone on every trek you're doing, and then making a great video out of it and releasing it on YouTube instead of saying, "Acha, aaj government se kya chitti aayi hai, batao."
Correct. And for example, I'll give you an example, Aven. I'll give you an example. So in 2020, they introduced a tax called TCS. You may have heard of it, maybe. It's tax collected at source. Okay. So basically, for every money you remit outside, there'll be a tax of 5%. Now, what does it mean for travelers, Indian travelers traveling abroad? They lose that 5% just because they're traveling abroad. Okay, now what they've done, Honorable Finance Minister has gone one step ahead. Last year, they announced that till 7 lakhs, it would be 5%. After that, it would be 20%.
Wow. So if you're traveling to the US and you expect to spend around 20 lakhs, तो उसमें से 20% गवर्नमेंट को देना सही है?
I think
Or मतलब कि they say that
I've heard about this. I've not like literally been on the problem end of this. But मैंने ये सुना था कि this was to curb black money remittances कि जैसे इंडिया से मनी आउटफ्लो कर रहा है. And is it true कि एक चीज करेक्ट करते हुए गवर्नमेंट ने कुछ और चीज रोक दी कि I mean you know what it means कि you fix one thing and then some other domino falls.
that's what is happening, and its impact. See, outbound now, and it was said in the budget, one of the justifications given that they're trying to promote domestic tourism by doing this, so that don't go abroad, travel in India. Now, I thought
वो political statement है.
correct, I know, but
जो मैंने सुना था कि उसका actual reason was कि मतलब there's a lot of and you know सबको पता है कि क्या क्या चीजें बाहर जाती हैं और कैसे लोग कर लेते हैं. And sitting abroad, I know all these methods, and I'll also say कि those methods have become very difficult now. So for better or worse, I'm not commenting on that sitting from here कि अच्छा या बुरा है, लेकिन what you're saying is कि अगर अच्छा भी है कि आप black money outflow curb कर रहे हो, it has hurt the travel industry, domestic travel industry, or whatever travel.
Why will it hurt the domestic travel? It will
It domestic travel operators who might have an international travel options, right?
right, yes, absolutely, yeah. So, like, you know, what I'm saying is laws like these are sort of hurting the travel industry.
Okay. No, point taken. I think that's a good one. Vix, अगर तू finance ministry या कहीं पर जाके project कर रहा है, it needs to go there. But next point क्या है, Hemant? Third point. What's the next opportunity or strength or?
No, so we were talking about 3 things, right?
Yep.
Top 3 things which Vix was asking me. First, I said was
under-tapped and over-tapped. The second was
marketing. Basically marketing, right? Yeah. No, I was talking about 3 things one should do, right? Right. So they need to boost up marketing, right? And it goes marketing abroad, marketing within India, the right approaches. I think the third thing which is one should do is ensure that it's sustainable. So coming back to that question, from all angles, right? When I say all angles, of course, financially, right? From culturally, right? Now, many places, you will hear that in Europe already, right? People in Barcelona cribbing that, "Arey, itne log aa gaye, chalo jao yahan se." You know, those kind of things. That's over tourism. But I'm saying it impacts your local culture, right? You can see that, I already see that happening in places like Spiti or Ladakh. We spoke about that. But
we were in Goa last month, and I have a feeling, and this is my first trip to Goa about almost 20 years later, is Goa is now just a tourism culture, at least the parts that I visited. Everything.
The local culture has disappeared,
local
right?
Local life is about tourism, and there is no Goa left anymore.
Right. The Goan culture is, you don't see that, right? So I think tourism should help preserve that. It should not consume that. That's what happened to Goa, right? So in places like, you encourage the local dance, culture, local food, things like that. It benefits the locals, right? Because they're preserving their tradition, culture. But Goa mein, to it's sort of consumed that. So I think that is, and the third thing is, of course, environment. It's one of the biggest things. I see that happening because we go in treks in Uttarakhand and those places like Joshimath. It's it's at a precipice, I would say, of an ecological disaster. And actually, that ground there was a report last year. There was a ground which is actually I'm not dhas raha. I mean, whatever you may call it in English, it's sort of
submerging,
right? Yeah. So, and that's largely because it's unchecked development at hotels who are all that over tourism. There's transport happening. It's all unchecked just to make a buck. So there has to be a balance between that, right?
So Hemant,
So that place won't be
point. तीनों points में एक बहुत common thread दिखी या सुनाई दी. Correct me if I'm not mistaken. Over marketing एक चीज है. ये last वाला the environmental part is one thing. और बीच में जो है local culture. Aren't they all in some ways the same over marketing thread? और जहाँ पर लोग नहीं वो under marketing thread.
No, not really. See, over marketing, which means over tourism. It's not. It's about educating also the travelers, right? Yeah, tum log please respect the local traditions, culture. I mean, I've seen people, So when I say, training is the wrong word, but I'm saying education, right? Educating the suppliers, educating the customers. So it has to be both ways. Don't throw trash. Simple thing is don't throw trash.
Yeah.
Right? But people have to adhere to that. So it's not exactly marketing related to that. It's about, sending the right signals or penalizing or educating or making people aware.
So I'm coming out with opportunities. There's a TTI opportunity, a Tourism Training Institute. Tourism Training Institute बैठानी चाहिए. There's a POD opportunity, permit fees for overtap destinations. Government will like collecting more tax. तो शिमला, नैनीताल, यहाँ पे 1,000 rupees extra airport tax. Her incoming flight to Shimla, Nainital, if you have 1,000 rupees extra airport tax, rupees 1,000 extra airport tax for Nainital. Developing a cultural brand, इसमें इतनी possibility है कि मैं क्या बताऊं. Hemant, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time and for your insight.
Is there something more you want?
Yes, I wanted you to give, or like us together to give a challenge to the viewers, okay? And the challenge that I would like is because the tourism industry is such a big opportunity for India, right? Because हमारे लिए सबसे बड़ी problem क्या है? Jobs, right? और आपने ठीक कहा कि हम इतने खुश होते हैं कि इंडिया बहुत यंग है. यार वो तो टिकिंग टाइम बॉम्ब है, 30 साल बाद बुढ़ी भी तो होगी. तो जॉब्स कहाँ क्रिएट करनी है? तो लेट अस कम अप विद व्हाट आर द टॉप 3 opportunities that we can present as a open document to our government, right? I think the government also needs ideas that can be implemented. ये नहीं कि यार infrastructure ठीक करते हैं, यार वो तो चल रहा है, वो तो गडकरी सर कर रहे हैं, आप मैंने क्या कर दो? You can't do, but come up with ideas that can be implemented. Like जैसे आपने जो बताया permit fees for overtap destinations, कि शिमला एयरपोर्ट, नैनीताल एयरपोर्ट पे 1,000 रुपए की फी लगा दो, अपने आप फीस बच जाएंगी, अपने आप वहां से टूरिज्म का, राइट? जैसे आपने बताया कि वर्कफोर्स स्किल्ड नहीं है, तो ठीक है, IIM में इतना फोकस कर रहे हो, यार सारी प्रोग्रामिंग तो अब AI करेगा. IIT के कम लोग चाहिए, अब हमें टूरिज्म ट्रेनिंग TTIs चाहिए इंस्टेड ऑफ IITs. We used to rather have TTIs. And then let's keep this challenge open, come up with a third opportunity, come up with something that, and I think the government wants to respond. It's just looking for good ideas. It's looking for good ideas from people like you, कि जिसकी IIM की भी education है, tourism में भी है. So how about we open this competition to everyone? That come up with 3 paragraphs that we can send to our government, saying implement these 3 things. We already have 2 paragraphs written down. One is the TTI paragraph, Tourism Training Institutes. One is the POD paragraph, permit fees for overtap destinations, airport fees of 1,000 rupees extra. And what is this third paragraph that you will write? And people will comment on our website or the YouTube channel. And whoever comes up with the best third paragraph for this 1-page letter to the tourism minister will get an award, a monetary award of 1,000 rupees. But bigger than that, they will get a certificate signed by no other than one of the 550 Indians who has climbed Mount Everest and one of the very few people in the world who has slept a night at 8,000 meters. क्योंकि माउंट एवरेस्ट तो लोग बस क्लाइंब करते हैं फिर वापस आ जाते हैं. 8,000 मीटर्स पे कभी लोग सोए. So हेमंत, बहुत अच्छा लगा आपसे बात करके, and thank you for coming, and let's be part of the solution and let's do something big. I'm in touch with a lot of investors here in Silicon Valley. Other mixed himself with a venture capitalist. He's the investor guy. If you have good ideas on the opportunity side, the solution side, if you need to raise money, if you know people who want to raise money, we can always connect them to people and make things happen. So thank you so much.
Investment is completely about, here's the opportunity. If you get an entrepreneur or a founder who is willing to deliver you that opportunity, then investors will back it. Of course, there's a bit of marketing कि कैसे आप investor को convince करोगे, but that's a second level problem. मैं एक चीज विक्स ऐड करूंगा केस स्टडी में कि जो थर्ड क्वेश्चन है जो हमारे लोग आंसर करेंगे, वो हेमंत ने काइंड ऑफ ऑलरेडी आंसर इन. एंड इफ वी आस्क हेमंत टू राइट दैट थर्ड पॉइंट, he can do it right now, but we've just stopped short of asking that third point directly.
नहीं,
So that's
तो पूछ लेते हैं. देखो, so it's part of a group discussion, right? But if at the end of the day, if we can come up with a one-page letter that we can publish on our site, we can give it to the multiple IAS, IEM combinations we have interviewed and say कि यार सही लोगों के सामने पहुंचा दो. ये आयन की तरफ से फीडबैक है, आई एम अलुमनाइज, और हेमंत जो भी माउंट एवरेस्ट जाकर आया उसकी तरफ से फीडबैक है. तो वो 3 पॉइंट क्या होगी? तो हम सोचते हैं कि टूरिज्म ट्रेनिंग इंस्टीट्यूट होना चाहिए. हम सोचते हैं परमिट फीस फॉर ओवन टाइप डेस्टिनेशन, एयरपोर्ट पे फी लगा दो. इट्स अ सिंपल इम्प्लीमेंटेशन. एंड व्हाट इज द थर्ड? हेमंत, आपकी दिशा है कि and then we can open it up. Let's see what other people come up with, and then we can come up with.
I think we should just open it up for
Open up for people to see.
for the third one. Yes,
For the
that's
third.
really interesting.
And something,
Yeah.
and it cannot be pie in the sky, and it cannot be blaming कि इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर नहीं है, टॉयलेट नहीं. यार ब्लेम करना बंद करो. ये बताओ सोल्यूशन कैसे करना, और इम्प्लीमेंटेबल सोल्यूशन बताना. ये मत बताना कि गवर्नमेंट को इम्प्रूव कर दो, वो इम्प्लीमेंटेबल नहीं होता. कुछ ऐसा बताओ कि एक MBA उसको इम्प्लीमेंट कर सके, एक IAS उसको इम्प्लीमेंट कर सके, एक मिनिस्टर उसको इम्प्लीमेंट कर सके. सो TTIs and PODs आर इम्प्लीमेंटेबल. एक ऐसा कुछ हमें और बताओ. सो दैट्स द चैलेंज. सो हेमंत, थैंक यू सो मच. नेक्स्ट टाइम मैं मिगलानी दोनों 2025 में दिसंबर में आ रहे हैं बैंगलोर. हमारी 25वीं सालगिरह है साइम बैंगलोर में. फिर मिलेंगे, and I'll maybe connect with you before that, and maybe we can organize a trip together or something. So you're just an awesome human, and thank you for doing what you have done, and thank you for giving us so much of your time.
Thank you for having me, guys. Mix.